Continues now as it's time for us to talk food security, to discuss agriculture. And I don't know. My guests here with me in the studios, they're a bit aggrieved, taking a look at the situation in the country, the situation of agriculture in Lagos State. And their own situation is pretty peculiar. I'm sure you'll find out what this is all about when you meet my guests. And I'll want to begin from my immediate right here, where I have with me Mr. Oyetunde Oyelayo. I got that right.
Right.
He is the legal advisor of the Afero Farmers Cooperative Society. Of course, that is a cooperative society based here in Lagos. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Yeah, good to have you with us.
It's a pleasure.
Seated beside him is Dr. Wale Oyekoya. He is the chairman of the agricultural sector of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and he is also a member of the Afero Farmers Cooperative Society. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Good to have. I'm fine, thank you. Good to have you here with us.
Me too.
Yeah. Now let me begin this way. Food security. You are farmers.
Yes.
Yes. And ordinarily, no one will see you and know that you're farmers.
Yes,
because you're corporately dressed and all of that. But tell me, where are we at? Let me begin with you, Mr. Oyetunde.
Yes,
where are we at on the issue of food security in Nigeria, and with particular reference to Lagos State?
Yes. Thank you for that question. To begin with, I will say in Lagos State we have a very good vegetation and the environment that is very conducive for farming. Most of the foodstuffs in Lagos, they are all brought in from maybe the northern part of the country or neighboring African countries. So we deem it fit as farmers that we must do something and capitalize on what we have.
Yes.
So that food will be available for all. For example, I'm a cattle breeder also.
Okay.
Yes. And most of the time, all the cattle we get are from the north. And we know what happened the last time when there were some crises.
Exactly.
There was no meat in the southern part of the country. And even most of these cattle from the north, they come to the south to graze. So we in the south, what are we doing? Most of us are in office. I'm a lawyer also, but my passion is farming.
Farming.
Yes. And even the local breeds we have, I think there's need for us to improve on them. For example, we've taken steps to bring in the semen from the US for this Brahma cattle. We won't use it to crossbreed on our own local breeds here. We have the Bocology.
Yeah, the Bocology.
They don't have, they are hornless.
Yes.
So by the time, and the Brahma also is just similar to that, but they can adapt in our own hot environment. And so that will increase the meat production here.
Yes.
And there are a lot of wastages here in the south. There are a lot of cassava peels being left, and they could go a long way to fattening up this cattle.
Okay.
So this is what we are doing. And there are a lot of farmers, some into poultry, piggery, all these things. We believe even our children, they could have protein. And so it's very wide.
So much is being done, on agriculture.
Yes.
Dr. Oyekoya, let me come to you. I know that the Afero community is located around the Lekki-Ekpe axis, and there have been some issues, with your community on agriculture and the government. What exactly, can you quickly brief us, what exactly is the situation?
The situation is about 3 years ago, we were approached by the Lagos State government that they want to take over our land for Lekki International Airport. So we cannot argue with the government. They can use the public interest to override our own business interest. So they wrote us a letter. And we've been having so many stakeholder meetings with the governors and the top officials of the Lagos State government. They were bent in relocating us. And the governor has been trying on his possible best as a democratic leader. He gave them the mandate that if you are going to display these farmers, make sure you give them another suitable land. Make sure you compensate them. And the governor even went further, being a responsible governor, releasing money to the affected farmers in the Afero and the people affected with the airports.
Okay.
But for the past 1 year now, we've been displaced. It's like we are floating.
Your farms have been taken over.
They have been taken over because the whole structure they have been marked for demolitions by the physical planning. We cannot fight them. So it's like all the farms have been abandoned with all kind of economic loss going on, laying off for so many people, directly or indirectly. Almost about 1 million people were being affected. Either they were eating through our means of production or laying off staff. So we have been on this thing with the Lagos State government, especially with the Bureau of Land. They are the one in charge of the enumeration of our compensations. It doesn't take time for compensation. And before they could decide to give us a letter that we are relocating you, I believe all these enumerations could have been done. They could have found a suitable for us that we are moving from this place. Just go and start your business without any confusion or any problem. But up to this moment, we've been approaching the Lagos State government, especially the Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Commerce, through the Commissioner for Commerce, Mrs. Shola Owuru.
Yes.
She's been trying her possible best, but all the time we are not getting anywhere. And the Ministry of Agriculture, which we expect them to do more, because they know what agriculture entails. It's not easy. Like most of this period now, we already missed the planting period.
So are you trying to tell us that basically right now nothing is happening about farming in the Afero community?
Nothing, absolutely. The place has been abandoned because we've been threatened. All our structure have been marked. So they cannot. It's just like putting a gun on the head of somebody and want it to be eaten. It's not possible. So we've been appealing to the governor several times, and he has been good to his promise. But it's just his herdsmen, people working under the ministry, that are delaying.
Now, Mr. Oyetunde, you are the legal advisor of this cooperative society. What steps have you taken, in reaching out to the government? I mean, for instance, letting the governor, be aware of what your people are going through. Because I know that Governor Babatunde Fashola is somebody who is really interested in agriculture. I know that he's very, very much concerned about the provision of qualitative food for Nigerians through Lagos State. So what have you done?
Thank you very much. We have written series of letters to the governor's office, and we have been invited actually.
Okay.
Yes, and we had several stakeholders meeting, but it has not been fruitful because even we don't know. They just said something is in the pipeline, and we've never seen anything coming out. It's over a year. The governor has even gone ahead to say I've been earmarked some money for this purpose. The money should be somewhere. We don't know where it is. And if it's somewhere, farming is not a thing that you just go and pick off the shelf. It's a process. Once you miss your season, for example, for me, last year I have only 3 calves, which is normally from the normal 50 or 60 that I would normally have. So that year is gone. Because you have only a calf from a cow, it's gone. So where will you place the loss? There are a lot of losses or suffering we are going through.
But isn't there anybody in particular that you're talking to in the Lagos State government?
No, I think they form a sum of group to look into this issue. They form a group,
it's
committee.
Between the Ministry of Commerce, Agri and Lands.
They gave them they give each ministry a responsibility, and they have to work as a team and come out with, they have to do they have to go and do the evaluation of what we have there and get to the Ministry of Justice also that will take it to the...
They have been to our farm several times to do the evaluations. The survey have been there. In fact, the Commissioner for Commerce. On the instruction of the governor have been to our farm. They see that we are practicing farmers. But because they were bent on taking over the land, they have taken all the enumeration. It shouldn't have been now that they are kicking on. Now, we went to multi-Dr system. To address the issue. They don't want to come to the court.
They don't want to submit themselves.
They don't want to submit themselves to the court. So they keep on giving us our time. It's just like a hide and seek.
Wow, that's
the document that they're supposed to submit to the court, they didn't come on with it. Now they said we should come back in October ending. I said October ending.
The Lagos State government.
Yes.
Okay.
I said October ending. This is farming we're talking about. 3 months to this time, do you know what might have happened?
Yes.
And that does not mean that if you go back in October, we are going to get paid or we are going to get our land.
Okay, this is what I would want us to do, because on this show, what we seek to do is find solutions, to problems, and as much as possible, create an atmosphere of peace and security. And of course, even if we have peace and security, we must eat. So that is very, very important. Maybe we should, maybe we would have a repeat of this discourse, but with some of the people involved, on seat as well, so that we can create a balance to this discourse. Because it looks like we're looking at three basic ministries here now. We're looking at the Ministry of Agriculture, we're looking at Commerce and Industry, and lands as well. So, well, we must have somebody from the Lagos State government who is going to tell us where where the situation is today, as regards
I know what they will tell you. They said that we are working on it.
You don't worry. You don't worry, Prince Wale Oyikoya. We're definitely going to look at this. But tell me briefly, because we're coming to the end of this discuss, what would you want done for you now?
What we want the Lagos State government done is to just compensate us. So
when you say compensation, what are you talking about?
Adequate compensation on the structure we have on the farmland, or if they cannot give us another land, give us a equivalent of the land so that we can go somewhere else and do our farming.
Well, you say give you the equivalent of the land so you can go somewhere else to farm.
Yes.
What if relocation comes there again? You would expect the government to give you another compensation?
Of course, because we have so many structures on the ground.
We have structures, we have economic trees. For example, the palm trees can live for about 50 years or more.
Yeah, definitely.
Like in my side, I planted about 10,000 oil
and it's still
palms.
fruiting.
And they just started fruiting. And we cannot uproot it to anywhere we are going. So they have to compensate us based on this cash crop that we planted.
But if you are there, it's a country on its own.
It's a country on its
okay.
own.
If you go there, yes,
Okay.
you can stay there. Even there's a polling station, a polling booth there.
Attached to that community.
Afero, yes. Even we all voted there.
Wow.
It's like a community created within ourselves, within the elite farmers, so that we can contribute to the growth of the nation,
to the growth of
and
the
for
nation.
the food security.
Yes.
All the structures were done by us, self-effort,
All the
through
infrastructure.
bank finances and.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I mean, this is creating a very gloomy picture for food security in Lagos State and in Nigeria as a whole. But I'm sure that as this has come to light now, very quickly, I'm sure something will be done about it. And just like I said earlier, we will have a repeat of this discuss, but we will have somebody from the state government who will come and tell us what measures have been taken, where they're at, and how quickly you can, be compensated really on this issue. Thank you so much for having been a part of the show this morning. I have been talking basically food security and, some